What's up? Welcome back to Talking Out with Dennis. After a very short TikTok ban, we're back at it. And my guests here tonight are Reid, Brodie, and John. How you guys doing tonight?
We're good. We're good, Ahmad. How are you?
I'm good. Now, Reid, I'm going to start off with you. I know, just like my last guest, Devin, you're a pretty successful hunter.
Yeah.
And I think you had a pretty good archery season this season. You were able to shoot at a buck, and were you able to find that buck the next day after you shot
No,
it?
it was actually a doe that
Oh.
I wounded a doe. You might be thinking of last year I shot a buck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were you able to recover her?
I was not. I don't know what happened. It looked like a good shot, but
That sucks. You always have that feeling of when you feel like you have a good shot on something, but then you just can't find it the next day. I've seen that a few times on TV shows.
it's terrible. You hate to wound an animal.
Yeah, I just don't want to make it suffer.
No,
And you just want to drop it right then and there.
Exactly.
Quick and clean. Like
Exactly.
you ever have something just come into range, or it's just not able. Actually, what I meant to say is you have something that just come out but just never comes into range where you can shoot it.
I did. I had actually a pretty nice buck this year. Came in 80 yards, and I tried grunting and bleeding at it, but it didn't come in close. Better to be ethical and not take the shot.
Yeah, I can remember a few years back. I was archery hunting with my dad with our crossbow, and it was starting to get a little bit dark. And a doe did come out after hours and hours of us not seeing nothing. But yeah, she just would not come into range, and yeah. And we did have like an infrared or night vision scope for our crossbow because that's what we were hunting with. Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, she just unfortunately just would not come into range.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Nobody does want to do it. No, I'm kidding. That is tough.
You also hunt turkeys, correct?
I do. I like turkey.
Any crazy turkey hunting stories you want to tell us?
Well, actually, my craziest turkey hunting experience, me and four other buddies were hunting. I was my junior year of high school, I believe, and we were calling. We set up on some turkeys, and we were calling, and a coyote actually came in. And so me and my friend were sitting in the back. We'd already tagged out, so we were just watching. Three people in front of us shot at the coyote and hit it and killed it. And then we were walking back to the car, and we decided to hit the call again, and a bird gobbled, and we killed the turkey and the coyote within an hour. So that was pretty cool.
Oh my goodness, that is probably the craziest thing. I can remember. I have my fair share of experiences seeing coyotes when I'm turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, I can remember the most recent time we were clucking for a while.
Yep.
Had a trio of jakes about maybe 200 yards coming towards us. They actually scared off a tom, I think.
Really?
Yeah, they're coming towards us, but then they decided to turn tail, go back out into the woods. Maybe half a minute later, I turned my head to the left, and maybe about 30 yards away, I want to say, there was a coyote.
Really?
Yeah, that was the closest thing. That was the closest a coyote's ever gotten to us.
Yeah.
I was like
a little nervous, but it is cool.
Yeah, and I was like, shaking my dad, there's a coyote, there's a coyote. Yeah, but he was like, okay, and he's had his hand on the gun, like in case that coyote charged. But then I think he got those, these aren't real turkeys. These are decoys with humans. I'm out of here. Yeah, I thought he was going to come and have himself a nice hot turkey club sandwich for lunch, but no, that would not have tasted so good since they were just fun.
You shot your first turkey a few years ago, right?
It was my second youth weekend, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was a youth turkey hunting program that I saw at the Champlain Valley Expo, the Sportsman
Classic in Essex.
Yeah, we found them through there, and then in April I went out with my dad and the guy that runs the thing. We waited there for about maybe 4 or 5 hours when a huge group of jakes came in. We saw them come in, and then we realized, oh, there's more than one. These are the two. No, there's three. Then there's four. Then there's five. Then we were stuck at five for a while. Then I look again. It's like there's six. There's six.
That's cool.
Yeah, 6 jakes in one group.
Was that in Vermont?
Yes, it was. Yeah. So anyway, the guide he did a purr cluck cluck, and they all gobbled at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
Which actually made us chuckle a little bit.
Yeah.
So then in the lead jake, which I'm guessing was probably the oldest, I think he was about to challenge our decoys. Then I lined it up and boom!
Nice.
Dropped him.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first turkey.
Nice.
And then on my final youth weekend the next year, that's when I got my first Tom.
Cool.
And that is also a pretty crazy story.
Yeah.
Yep, we saw him come out of the woods. Like, we heard him gobbling for a while when we first set up. Then we heard him, he started coming towards us. Then a hen flew down. He's like, oh crap, he's gonna go follow that hen. But he didn't. But yeah, and he was kind of angsty. I'm guessing it was probably like a young Tom, like he had just become a Tom. Or he had lost a lot of fights or something. Anywho, yeah, I can just remember he started coming towards us for a while. Then my dad and I took our eyes off him for 1 minute, and boom, he's right there. I was like, oh my God. Buzzed off a couple shots on him, missed them. Then like another hour and a half went by, and he's still out in the field, just strutting his stuff, puffed out.
Yeah.
And yeah, then he went into the woods, came out a couple minutes later, about a minute later, and after a while, I was finally able to drop him.
Cool shit.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that was my first time. For a great way to end my my youth hunting.
Definitely.
Yeah. Moving on to Brodie.
Here you go.
How's it going on?
Pretty good. Now, Brodie, I know you also. Earlier this year or last year, you had a pretty successful turkey hunting season.
Yeah, I got 2 in one shot. It was pretty sweet.
Really?
Yeah.
Give us the details about that, please.
Well, me and Brady, you might know him, we were out looking for turkeys, and we found a couple jakes, and we reaped them in. It was got like a decoy, and you kind of walk up with it. Did that, and then I shot this jake, and I got 2 in one shot, which is pretty cool. Never done that before, so add that to the list, I guess.
I think a lot of people can say that they've never done that before.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. But yeah.
Any good deer hunting stories you want to give us?
No, I kind of had a shitty season. I didn't really go out much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there weren't much going on for me.
I understand that.
Yeah, been busy.
I think now we're gonna move on to John.
How we doing?
Good, John. Now I understand you, just like the rest of these two boys, are in the construction management program.
Yeah.
You were first or second year here?
First year. I did business last year and transferred to construction.
What made you want to transfer?
Just the curriculum, different content in the classes and different group of people, and also the internship opportunities are pretty good. So,
Okay. Do you know where you want to intern this summer?
I've got a few different offers right now. Probably look something like Pike or hopefully JPC card.
Okay. So you want to be like working the excavator or the traco?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I like to do. So,
Is this something you want to be doing professionally or something?
definitely. Yeah, as more of management side of it, still be able to get out, get the
So
equipment every now and
want to
again.
be like the foreman or whatever?
Hopefully the boss, owner, ideally, but I mean that's a long ways down the road.
Yes.
So,
hey, just shoot for your dreams and you can make them, man.
right.
Pass it on back to Brodie. Want to talk about?
What's up, Omar?
Now, Brodie, I understand you and Reid both had some internships in construction this summer. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I worked for Hunter Excavating out of South Londonderry, Vermont, and do a fair amount of shit up on Stratton, whatnot. Part of the these guys right here, South Londonderry. Shout out, yeah. Probably the biggest job I was on this summer was we did 1,500 foot of 2-foot snowmaking pipe on Stratton. So we had to tear up the whole access road, or well, not all the access road, but tear up a good chunk of it and lay new pipe and, just get it done. So,
yeah.
But what about you, Omar? What did you do this summer?
I mostly just worked at my old job as a cashier.
Oh, there you go.
And I hung out with some friends, went outside, tried to enjoy the hot weather. Now that we have this shitty cold weather,
I know.
I cannot stand that. I'm back to Reid. Can you tell? Did you work at the same internship as Brodie or a different one?
I did not. I worked for GW Tatro Construction this summer. I worked mostly. I did some work in Swanton, Vermont, doing a water line, and I worked in Coventry, Vermont, just south of Newport, doing a landfill expansion for the only landfill in Vermont.
There's only one landfill in
There's
all.
only one landfill.
That-
We just did an expansion for it.
So
We got hired in.
to like make it bigger, make room for
Yeah,
large.
and they the landfill in Vermont, they pull methane out of the trash actually to power the grid. Basically, they power plant they have a nuclear power plant or a methane power
Okay.
plant.
Now you said you had a question for me. What was
I
it?
did. So we were talking about our dreams and our future, and I remember beginning of last year you saying, "Hey, you wanted to be a cattle rancher
Yes.
eventually." Is that still your goal?
I think it's more of a backup goal. I'm thinking.
Backup?
I think of. I've had a few backup plans if my veterinary technology thing doesn't work out. Thinking about going into real estate.
Really? That's a good
Yeah,
lucrative career. It can be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I can just like live on a ranch and still do that.
Exactly.
I feel like there's a whole lot of money to be making with that.
Do you ever see yourself being a vet tech at a vet clinic or
If
like a dog and cat clinic?
Well, I'm thinking more doing large animals like horses
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, if this semester goes well in the next few semesters, yeah, I've always envisioned myself working with animals in some way. Okay,
I believe in you.
Well, thank you for that,
Yes, sir.
Reid. Thank you, boys, for being here tonight. Thank you guys for tuning into this
Thank
episode
you.
of Talk It Out with Dennis.
Subscribe.
Subscribe or follow, depending on where you're watching this from. Hit the like button, and I'll catch you on the flip side.